All right, one more box of paperbacks to post tonight. Let's see where we go with this. All right, we got Thongor fights the Pirates of Tarakus. Who needs Conan? You've got Thongor. All right, Thongor and the Wizard of Lemuria by Lynn Carter. I wonder if Thongor's in that same universe. Sounds like a kind of name. Orbit Unlimited by Paul Anderson. The Purple Pirate by Talbot Mundy. All right. A Place for Murder by Emma Lathan. A little bit of mystery in here. The Steel Crocodile by Compton. What a weird cover design. And the Unsleeping Eye by Compton. What is up with this guy? Who is D.G. Compton? All right, we got an ace double. The Age of Ruin by Fawcett. And we have Code Duelo by Mac Reynolds. All right. Ooh, we got a Haggard. We got the World's Desire by Haggard. Ooh, we have a different kind of double, a Belmont double. The Flame of Iridar and Peril of the Starmen. All right, we have The Time Mercenaries by Philip High and Anthropol by Louis Trimble. Cool. We have Paul Anderson's The Trouble Twisters. We have Frederick Pohl's The Slave Ship. We have The Eskimo Invasion by Hayden Howard. Homo sapiens can atomize himself into extinction, but there are other kindly extremes. All right, what we got here? Not This August by Cornbluth. Okay. We have The People of the Talisman by Lee Brackett and The Secret of Shintar. I like when there's like dinosaurs being ridden. Look at another one. Oh, I love when people ride dinosaurs with laser guns. The Secret of Cinnahart by Lee Brackett and People of the Talisman by Lee Brackett. Trying to get a good cover art there. All right. Trouble on the Titan. Okay. Pain God by Harlan Ellison. I am the Pain God. All right, The Strange and Supernatural, freaky cover. Okay. We have The Rim Gods. Wow. Bertram Chandler. The High Hex by Lawrence Janifer. All right. What do we got here? We got Nunquam by Lawrence Durrell. I didn't know Lawrence Durrell did Sci-Fi. I know him for the Alexandria Quartet. The Mind Spider and Others. Look at that awesome cover art. And we got the glare today. The Big Time. All right, we got a chick with a battle axe and like some vintage radio and a cool outfit with a satyr. And some dude passed out because he drank too much, and some police coming by. All right, who knows what's going on there? The Mind Parasites by Colin Wilson. Have we been infected? Who can replace a man? A fish needs a bicycle. I Speak for Earth. The Man with Seven Faces. And Wandel, the Invader. What's up, Wandel? Are you here to invade? All right. Soldier Asks Not by Gordon R. Dixon. I love that cover art. All right, an ace double. We got Seed of the Dreamers by Pataja. I gotta look into this Pataja guy. And The Blind Worm by Stapleford. I've had a lot of this Pataja. Not an author that I've seen before a lot. The Silent Multitude by Compton. All right. A Haunting Novel of a Dying World. Synthojoy. I had this book yesterday, but a different cover art by Compton. The Quality of Mercy, another one by Compton. If the world were going to be destroyed tomorrow, do you think anyone would tell you? Lester Del Rey, freaky cover art. Robots and Changelings, 11 Tales. All right. Siege Perilous by Lester Del Rey. Exiled to space, he stood alone against an eerie invasion. Moon of Mutiny. Now, we're trying to go to the moon, but the moon's gonna declare independence one day. They're gonna be like, Paul Anderson, The Enemy Stars. Corpse Earthling. She was masked as the first victim of the Martian invader. All right, we're getting to the bottom here. Help me out here. Walk Through Tomorrow by Carl Ziegfeld. The man from 1965 stood raised on the brink of 3065. Isaac Asimov, Lucky Star and the Big Sun Mercury. That's a cool cover for that book. Ooh, this is like Mr. Manhattan. Theodore Sturgeon, Starshine. That's a cool cover. Hidden Planet. Dinosaurs. There's always dinosaurs. Dinosaurs always seem to have made it to other planets. Maybe they were aliens. The Patchwork Girl. Maybe they didn't die off. Maybe they just flew off back to their homeland. Mask of Chaos by John Jakes. Maybe they saw humans show up and they were like, we're out of here. The Star Virus by Barrington Bailey. Maybe not. Rokanon's World by Ursula Le Guin. Alright, I don't know this one by Le Guin. Left Hand of Darkness. The Kar-Chi Rain by Avram Davidson with giant praying mantises that have taken over flying rocket ships, and he's hiding in a little stick there. Alright, The Planeteers by Campbell. Don't fight that thing. That thing looks like it wants to eat you. The Ultimate Weapon. When Star fights Star in Chaos, the best defense. When Star I don't know what I'm reading anymore. Cradle of the Sun by Brian Stableford. The Wizard of Centuria by Kenneth Bulmer. Look at that. Look at that. Let's just fall into this world. Let's just fall in. All right, we're getting there. The Star Wasp by Robert Moore Williams and Warlord of Kor. A lot of dinosaurs. Chalky by John Wyndham. I don't know. This book freaks me out. All right. The Time Mercenary. Oh, we had this book earlier before. We had 2 copies of that in this box. Cool. Last 2 books. World of the Sleeper by Tony Russell Wayman. And The Last Castle by Jack Vance. Last book in the box. Earthrim by Nick Kamen. The man who stopped the wars must be stopped in turn. And Phoenix Ship. Was he a robot for the Earth or a rebel for the stars? Thanks for tuning in. Please like and follow, and we'll try to keep this going. We have lots of books.